Manhunt is a British television drama series based on the real-life murder investigations of Detective Chief Inspector Colin Sutton, played here by Martin Clunes. The first series focused on the true story surrounding the investigation into the death of French student Amélie Delagrange. The subsequent manhunt eventually led to the arrest of Levi Bellfield for Delagrange's murder and several other high-profile yet previously unsolved cases. The series was first shown in the United Kingdom on the 6th of January 2019, airing on 3 consecutive nights. Consolidated figures show an average of 8.7 million viewers across the 3 episodes, rising to 9 million viewers when online viewing was included. This made the series ITV's highest-rated launch of a new drama series since the first series Broadchurch in 2013. The series has so far won 2 BAFTA Cymru Awards, Best Director, Fiction for Mark Evans, and Best Actor for Cillian Jones. On the 6th of March 2019, the show was renewed for a second series, which premiered on the 20th of September 2021. The second series focuses on the search for serial rapist Delroy Grant. It begins with the daughter checking up on her mother. She is found hiding inside her cabinet walling. 17 years later, in 2009, Sutton is being called up by New Scotland Yard. He's tasked with reviewing a 17-year ongoing serial rape case, Operation Minstead. Just a bit of background on the real case. Delroy Easton Grant Jr. is a Jamaican-born British convicted serial rapist who carried out a series of offences of burglary, rape and sexual assault between October 1992 and May 2009 in southeast London area of England. Grant, also known as the Minstead rapist and latterly the Night Stalker, is thought to have been active since 1990. He had a distinctive modus operandi, preying primarily on elderly women who lived alone. He is suspected of over 100 offences from 1990 to 2009. In 1998, the Metropolitan Police launched a dedicated Operation Minstead team to investigate the crimes, based at Lewisham Police Station. The name was chosen from an alphabetical list of English villages, the method of operational naming and use at the time. As of 2009, the operation was the largest and most complex rape investigation ever undertaken by the Metropolitan Police. Grant was an accomplished burglar and had broken into homes of over 90 elderly women aged between 68 and 93. He was positively linked to 4 reported rapes and around 30 other sexual assaults. Police believe he is also responsible for at least 2 other rapes, where the victims felt unable to make any official allegation. The true total may be higher, but his victims were often too traumatized to speak to the police. In addition, Operation Minstead investigation team had to decide which incidents were unmistakably the work of the same offender and which were similar but unrelated. Therefore, many possible Minstead incidents flagged by police for attention of Operation Minstead team could not be definitely confirmed as the work of the same offender, and so had to be excluded from a linked series. The confirmed series of offences began in October 1992 into the Shirley area of Croydon. However, because of the break of 4 years between the first attack and spate of others, Operation Minstead was not set up until 1998. Although committing many crimes, Grant was dormant for long periods. After his first attack in October 1992, no further offences were reported until 1997. After a particular violent rape on the 5th of August 1999, where his victim almost died from her injuries, there was another long break. This prompted some media speculation that the rapist had been imprisoned for an unrelated offence or that he had died. However, on the 13th of October 2002, 10 years after the first attack, he struck again. 7 confirmed attacks took place on the summer of 2003. Another break then followed. A further series of confirmed attacks took place towards the end of 2008 and into mid-2009. Detective Superintendent Simon Morgan, who headed the Minstead team from 2001 to October 2009, explained the problems in arriving at a definite total of offences in the series by saying his victims come from a generation who are inclined to see good in everyone. One thanked him for being so gentle when he raped her. Another said, "She did not want to dial 999 because I know the police are already so busy." Grant would gain entry into the homes of his victims from the side of the rear, either through open windows or by removing a window pane entirely. He had been known to use tools stolen from victims' own garden shed to remove the window beading. He then would rip out the telephone wires, either before entering the property or after gaining access. He then disabled lights, either by switching off the electricity at the meter or by unscrewing light bulbs from their sockets. He then approached his victims, shining a torch in their eyes. Often his first words were to demand sex. However, he had been known to spend hours in the victims' homes, either before or without assaulting them. He exhibited a knowledge of geriatrics, knowing how to support his elderly victim's spine and how to pick her up by the elbow. He had sometimes been shamed into leaving without committing a sexual act when his victim had chastised him. Of particular note is an incident where one victim caused him to apologize and leave by angrily demanding, "What would your mother think of you?" Police have speculated that Grant was ashamed of his actions, perhaps explaining the long period that sometimes occurred between offences. Despite this, he could be extremely violent. During his most violent attack on the 5th of August 1999, he raped his victim twice and left her bleeding from a perforated bowel, injuries which nearly proved fatal. Grant has been known to burgle his victims. This was not his primary motive, however. He often took money, but only small amounts. He also took credit cards and obtained their pins. In 2004, he stole a wad of £5 notes. These were later discovered thrown away a mile and a half from his victim's house. He'd also taken jewellery. The same year, he told a victim that his mother had died 4 years earlier, stating that the government let her down anyway. He struck on all days of the week, most often during the early hours of Friday or Saturday morning. Grant was thought to be forensically aware since he never left a fingerprint at any scene. Most importantly though, he did not use condoms and his DNA was captured. The first time his DNA was discovered at a scene was in 1992. Thereafter, more than 2,000 DNA samples were collected from suspects. Advanced DNA techniques pointed towards a North Afro-Caribbean ethnic origin for the rapist. Operation Minstead identified around 21,000 possible suspects that fitted such a profile. In March 2004, Operation Minstead detectives hand-delivered a letter to hundreds of black men in South London asking for their help in voluntarily providing DNA samples for the elimination process. While most men approved the process, 125 men initially refused to provide samples, believing the exercise was discriminatory and breaching their human rights. Police brought pressure to bear on these who refused, explaining that their behaviour could be construed as suspicious. 5 objectors were subsequently arrested but cleared. This incident was seen by some commentators as abuse of power and damaged relations between London's black community and the police. According to newspaper reports, the suspect was seen by cash machine CCTV cameras using victims' credit and debit cards, but the footage appeared to be useless as his face was already covered by a mask. When viewing some of the footage, one police officer spotted the reflection of a bus in the shop window. The bus was tracked down and was found to be fitted with cameras. Police trawled through the CCTV footage recorded by the bus. On the recording, a Vauxhall Safira was spotted near the cash machine, and the vehicle records pinpointed all models in the South London area. On Sunday the 15th of November 2009, a Safira was spotted parked in Shirley area of Croydon, which was already being staked out by 70 police officers following recent break-ins believed to have been carried out by the Night Stalker. Grant was arrested as he approached his car, having just attempted to enter a nearby pensioner's house. On the 24th of March 2011, Grant was found guilty of 22 offences. The following day, he was given 4 life sentences and ordered to serve a minimum of 27 years in prison. Now, this is a very well-paced, well-made, and I would like to think a true depiction of the real-life Colin Sutton's life and career in the police force. Martin Clunes plays Colin Sutton with a sense of kindness, but also a man dedicated to the job and will stop at nothing to catch the man who is behind the crimes. He comes across as a dedicated, thoughtful, kind and caring police officer, and Clunes brings him to life with absolute perfection. This isn't a glitzy or glamorous police drama. This is rather down-to-earth and focuses primarily on the case. Yes, you see a little bit of background to Sutton's life as you see him interacting with his wife. But primarily, this case works on the whodunit premise and how the police now have to go about painstakingly and with huge amount of patience to uncover every sort of aspect of the case with a fine-tooth comb. In Manhunt, there is something that is likely precise. There's an old-school focus, and it really brings to light how these cases are done with a team effort. Yes, we are seeing the story through Colin Sutton's eyes, but it really is him working with a huge team of people that brings down the criminal in the end. The Minstead Man case, or Night Stalker case, is an absolutely fascinating one and terribly scary and frightening that this man would break into the most vulnerable people in society and take advantage of them in such cruel and awful ways. The show is well paced, alerts you to the victim's trauma and how awful it must have been what they had to go through. But it primarily focuses on the attention to detail, the painstakingly thorough means that the police had to go to in order to catch this man who'd been evading them for so many years. This is a well-made, well-paced and excellently put-together drama series that highlights a most fascinating case of a most awful man. Manhunt Series 2, The Night Stalker, gets an 8.5 out of 10.